Happy Sunday, everybody. And I apologize. We are about 2 minutes late in starting tonight, but it is Sunday. This is the Average Me channel. And today was an interesting day for me. And I hope that you all had a great weekend so far. And the week is off to a fantastic start for you. But it's been hot down here and it's been humid. We haven't had a whole lot of rain, but it's just been a hot weekend. And we'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to and what some of the things that you're going to be seeing on the channel coming up and what I think I'm going to be doing here. We'll see in just a moment. I'm checking a few things here online. I see that I am live and you see we have kind of a weird name for the show tonight. It is Pineapples and Tiny Bananas. And there's actually a reason for that because I have been, I don't know why, I've just been kind of like a Southern farmer this week and I've been doing some really interesting things. So, what has been happening? Well, I haven't done a lot of posting, I guess, this week. I've been busy this week, and of course, you saw the couple of videos we have talked since I did the Dom Perignon video. I did that last Saturday, so that made it into last week's live stream. And then I once again visited the Naples Pub, and that one was on Saturday. It's been a while since I've been to the Naples Pub. And there's a couple reasons for that. Naples Pub was a place that my wife and I used to go to a lot. So on our anniversary, I went down there and you can, did you just see a cattail walk by here? Um, that was Callie. So we went to, or we used to go to the Village Pub a lot, and that's in Naples. And I haven't been there for, gosh, I'll bet more than a year. I'll bet more than a year. I think the last time that we were there is when we bought the cats, and that was after her diagnosis. So I would guess that was April or May, something like that. So the cats have been with me for a little over a year. And that might have been about the time that we last went to the Village Pub as well. But I thought that was just a way that I felt I could honor her, remember the times we had together. It was our anniversary. And, so I wanted to go out and do some things and have, relive some old memories. So that's what I did. And it wasn't a really long video. It was only, gosh, 3 minutes long. But if you want to see what that Village Pub is all about, it's a neat place. It's it's down in like a shopping plaza, and it's on water, and sometimes dolphins go by there, manatees, and it's very fun. At night they have lights, so the water is lit up. So it's very cool. So if you miss that during the week, you might want to go by and check that out. So today, first of all, it is um, the 2nd of August, right? Is it the second or is it the third? It's the third already. So we're already into the new month. And every month, at the beginning of the month and then the middle of the month, I do some house checks for snowbirds in the area that, they leave and they want to make sure that things are going okay with their homes. And, I go in there and run the water and check for, insects and make sure that everything's fine and there's no flooding or electricity didn't go out or anything like that. And one of the homes that I go to has a banana tree. And last year I was seeing those bananas, they were falling on the ground and rotting, or the palm rats go up to them. And so I talked to him about it. He said, if you want those bananas, take the bananas. So this week, no, 2 weeks ago, there was a bunch of bananas, which, by the way, do you know what a bunch of bananas is called? It's not a bunch, it is a hand of bananas. And if you think about that, bananas kind of look like a hand, right? It's a hand of bananas. Hand of bananas. Boy, it's kind of fun to say. Hand of banana. Have a banana from the hand of bananas. Abracadabra. And they were still quite green. And so I was letting them ripen, and today they're ripe. Now you're going to look at these and say, good Lord, Mark, they're black. These, you don't want to eat these. Oh, it smells so good just being next to them. Yes, these little tiny bananas, if you eat them when they're yellow, they're going to be hard as a rock. But if you wait until they start to turn black like this, they are so sweet and so good. And they always say, the monkeys um, peel the bananas from what we consider the bottom. But I don't think we have monkeys in Florida. There's a place outside of Miami called Monkey Jungle. I think it's called. You can go see monkeys. But doesn't that look great? It's kind of yellow, banana. Mm. I'm not going to eat many of them. I might take them into work. There's a woman I work with who makes banana bread. But I mean, this is really just a perfect. It's so sweet. So delicious. As the as it starts to darken up and turn black like that, all the sugars come out, and it is such a soft, tasty, sweet banana. And I just think that's the coolest thing when I live down here in Florida, and I can grow. Well, I don't grow them, but I could if I wanted to. Bananas, that's just a really neat thing. When I was a little kid, I always thought, my grandpa and grandma lived down here. Um, Not here in Naples. They lived on the other coast. And they used to have orange trees. I believe they had orange trees on there. I thought that was really cool. They have orange trees. Even when they lived in Wisconsin, they had plum trees. And so growing a banana, that is really neat. And these little tiny bananas, they're just super, super sweet. And they're so good. And I got to be careful. I don't want to eat too many of those because I'll kind of throw my diet out of kilter. As you know, I've been losing a lot of weight. One of the things I've been doing is staying away from a lot of sugary fruits and vegetables. So I'm eating more of the green leafy stuff and feeling healthy like a horse. Yesterday, I went to the Snook Inn. Snook Inn they advertise it as world famous Snook Inn. It's world famous around here, I guess. But everyone knows the Snook Inn, and it's a beautiful place. And when Hurricane Ian came through, it was demolished. Now it has been a landmark, and it was demolished. And boy, did they take that opportunity. Talk about making lemonade from lemons. Rebuilt it. They have a great. I made a video of it when they first opened up. If you want to go back about a year and a half ago. Um, Great big chicky roof. Now, people always say, what's the difference between a tiki barn, a tiki roof, and a chicky roof? Well, tiki is typically the South Pacific Polynesian. It's all about kind of the dark environment. And the best description I ever heard of tiki was from Bob Girth. Bob was one of the old original Imagineers. And he said tiki would look like if you were on a desert island and you started gathering up all the stuff that washed ashore, the buoys and the nets, and then you took all the things that the native people had, their ceremonial masks and their, tiki statues and decorated with all that stuff. That would be tiki. Of course, you have the tiki mugs and everything. Chicky is more, in this area, they have the Calusa Indians, and they would make the thatch roof huts. And um, in this area, if it is tribal and they are making the thatch roof buildings, and I believe the other stipulations is no electricity, they do not have to have a building permit. So if I wanted to have them build a chicky a bar chicky roof out in my backyard somewhere, we could do it. We wouldn't even have to get approval for it. So anyway, so here we would call that chicky and not tiki. And where did this all start? What did this have to do with my bananas? Um, anyway, I honestly completely lost my train of thought, and I don't even know why I started talking about that. However, um, I how did I get there? I know my line of thinking was somewhere. Oh well. So anyway, I have the bananas, and today I planted pineapples. Well, one pineapple. I planted it today. It was a 2 week process. It started 2 weeks ago. I got the video completed, edited. I just have to upload it and then, um, post it. So that will probably break tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. And it is a great process. I tell a little bit about the history of pineapples in South Florida. It's a wonderful history. It's a very rich history because we used to produce a lot of pineapples down here. And now you think of Hawaii, as being a pineapple producer, and they don't even produce that much pineapple anymore either. Another thing that we produce here, a lot of people associate with Hawaii, is cane sugar. We do a lot of cane sugar down here in South Florida. But we used to produce pineapples. And then around 1922, 23, something like that. Matter of fact, there used to be a plantation, Captain Hoare, his name was, H-O-R. All right. And Captain Hoare, well, he was a character. And he was actually a captain in, I don't remember if it was North or South. I think he was in the Confederacy. Anyhow, he came and he, after the Civil War, he settled down here. He moved around and was an entrepreneur. And he had a big pineapple plantation down here. And sometime around 22 or 23, there was a huge freeze. Now, we don't have freezes very often down here. We really don't. Every now and then, I've been down here 4 years. I can only remember like 2 or 3 days. There was one a stretch when I first moved down here, and there would be frost on the windshield, and you'd have to take your credit card and scrape it. It wasn't like the frost you'd get up north, it would disappear right away. But that might, I don't think it'd be enough to even hurt the citrus down here, but it might. So if we would ever have a freeze warning, I would have to cover my pineapple up so it wouldn't get frostbite. But pineapples are interesting because you can grow a pineapple. Honest to God, and you'll watch that video, you can grow a pineapple from another store-bought pineapple. And you don't have to ruin that pineapple. You get to eat the entire pineapple, and you can still grow another one. So there's 3 different ways to grow pineapples. And I did it probably the most I don't know, the most direct, sloppiest way, easiest way to replant the pineapple. And what's interesting about it, it'll take almost 2 years. It'll take 16 to 24 months for that pineapple to bear fruit. Now, about this time next year, it might start flowering. Okay, maybe in the fall of next year, it'll start flowering. And then, with any luck, and I don't see any reason why it's not going to. I put it in about a 15-gallon planter out there, and we should see a pineapple. But they're great houseplants. So if you want to, watch a video and say, I'd like to do that, but you're like me, and I used to live in Wisconsin. Maybe you live in Wisconsin and Minnesota, or another cold weather area, and you say that'd be fun. I'm envious that Mark can do that in his yard. You can do it indoors. It makes a great house plant, and it's pretty. It's a pretty plant. So anyway, bananas and pineapples. Oh, I remember why I was talking about chicky bars. I was telling you that I went to the Snook Inn yesterday. So I went to the Snook Inn. And the wonderful thing about the off season, early August, late July, early August, September, is nobody is here. All those snowbirds are somewhere else. They all go up north because they think it's terrible down here. It's hot. It's humid. It's also wonderful because, you're living in paradise. and you can walk right into these places that during the season is so busy you can't find a place to park. You have a hour and a half, 2 hour wait for a table or a seat. You walk right in. I sat right down on the table next to the water. Dolphins were going by. All of a sudden, everybody was crowded up in front of my table. I thought, oh, I know what's going on. This is a dolphin out there. And I looked, and sure enough, dolphins were swimming by. Um, just beautiful. And there was a band there that I really like. It's a husband and wife team. They're called Jimmy Owen Rhonda Lee, and they were playing yesterday afternoon. They play almost every Saturday at Snook Inn. Well, another wonderful thing, a lot of the places here, there's so much music in this area, so much music, but unfortunately in the summer, a lot of it stops. And thank goodness the Snook Inn keeps their music going year round. And usually they have a band in the daytime on Saturday and then a different band at night on Saturday. And Jimmy and Rhonda are great. He is really a good guitarist. And then she sings, and then they have accompanying music, but he's really good on the electric guitar. And she's got a wonderful voice, and then he sings with her as well. So I went down to see Jimmy and Rhonda, and I don't eat hamburgers and stuff anymore, so I got the salad bar. But I did take some potato salad, and I think that's what hit me because I was started to drive back, and I started to get so tired. And I got to the condo, and I was sitting out looking down at the ocean over the beach. And then I thought, I'm just going to lay down. I'm so tired of this. I napped for about 2.5 hours. It was terrible. I was going to go down to the beach and I was going to swim a little bit and I was going to catch some rays. I didn't do any of that. I just slept. So that was really too bad. But what are you going to do? Such a Jimmy Buffett day, right? Going to a place, sitting by the water, watching the dolphins, listening to some music, and then overlooking the beach from a balcony and taking an afternoon nap. That is living when you think about it. So, and plus, I have my bananas, right? These are so good. These bananas are just so doggone good. I'm afraid I might have to throw them away. Either I'll give them to my coworker who makes banana bread. I'll just get rid of them because I can't. There's like 24 bananas here, and there's so much sugar in them. But oh, they're so tasty. So I just had to open one up to prove to you. I don't know. Are you opening up? Does that constitute opening up a banana if you peel it? But I had to open one up and just prove to you that even though they look black and they look like they're going to be rotted, it was a great banana, wasn't it? I mean, it looked so nice and ripe and it tasted so good and it was nice and it wasn't mushy. It was still, um, it still was solid, but it was nice and soft and so much sweeter than those big, Chiquita bananas that you buy at the grocery store. These things, I don't know what they're called. Someone can look it up and see what these little tiny bananas are called. I should look it up. That's what I should do, right? Because we are a full service live stream channel. So what are the tiny bananas grown in Florida called? And it says they are called lady finger bananas, baby bananas or lady finger bananas. They're a category of dessert bananas known for their petite size and creamy texture. Oh, they are creamy. Specific varieties are Orinoco and Dwarf Namwa. And they're also known to produce smaller, tasty bananas in Florida. Oh, yes. So when selecting banana, factors like cold tolerance, size, and taste should be considered. It says there's over 20 varieties of bananas in Florida. So there you go. That is you gotta hand it to the hand of bananas. I can make so many we could almost write a song about that, right? Hand it to the hand of bananas. Have a little bongo drum going on there and some, a steel drum and hand it to the hand of bananas. And Hannah Banana could be doing it. She could be like Carmen Miranda. Remember Carmen Miranda used to dance around with all the fruit in her hat back in the 1940s? We could have Hannah Banana that could have a bunch of bananas around her head just dangling down. People come up and pick one off and eat it. All right. That sounds like an AI video for me, doesn't it? All right, everybody, before this gets too silly, and what time are we up to? It is 6:23. So I didn't think we'd be able to do a 20-minute live stream today, all about bananas um, and pineapples. I didn't bring coconuts into it. I didn't bring coconuts into the mix today because I haven't done anything with coconuts in quite some time. Uh, Once or twice a year, what they do, coconut palms are tall. They're really, really tall. They're like, 20 or 30 feet tall. So you can't really just pick a coconut. They go up in, the cherry picker type things and they chop them off. And if you can catch the truck when it's going around doing that, I don't know what they do with them, but they don't care. They'll give you as many coconuts as you want. And, those things cost $3 or $4 a piece at the store, right? So I haven't done anything with a coconut in quite some time. But I have my mint plans were looking so good out there. And now that I don't drink anymore, I'm not making mojitos, but I made some tea out of those. So there we go. All right, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's Sunday live stream. As always, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Know that I do appreciate you. I know that you can be doing other things. The fact that you spend some time here with us means an awful lot to me. And without viewers, there is no channel. So thanks so much for being here, everyone. And look out in the next day or two for the pineapple video. It's a lot of fun. I think you might enjoy it. So um, yeah, now what I have to do is put my glasses on so I can see what you said. Oh, my Dom video. Yeah, we were just talking about that at the beginning. Would have been nice to have someone to share it with, but I'm glad I did it because I will probably never drink a $350 bottle of champagne again in my entire life. So the other thing is, you could see all the boats and everything in the background. You could see the Gulf of America behind me. So there you go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I will see you throughout the week on the regular videos. Else, I will see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a great week, everyone. So long.